It could be really further out from what we do. It could be MAGA, Groyper, Patriot, conservative, former leftists, former anti-whites, or even, as I said, some debates. We might see some debates on this program if we have some people that were willing to do that. But it's all about expanding the reach, presenting ourselves to the general public. We're normal people. It's normal to be doing this. Give people the verbiage, give people the perspectives, help them to go free. And this is how we have to do it. We have to grow. We have to grow. And we have to all do this together. We have the best community here by far. We know this is the best community in these spheres. So we're asking you to help us brainstorm. And as I said, if you're listening after the show, reach out, comment. This is an ongoing thing, but we want to grow in 2021, and we're all going to do this together.
Amen. Very well said, brother. Our next and final guest of TAP today is a gentleman who is, relative to the first three, quite new to the community, but you will know and love this gentleman without question. And when you see his, if you've seen his videos, you'll know that he's always in these picturesque settings, and he speaks with such love and joy in his heart. It is a real blessing to be able to see the videos that he makes. He even has the power in one of his videos to, when talking about going free, to call upon the powers of God, and the sky rips open and the sun peers down through upon him, and the words of going free. And that is our one very own beloved Jerome. How are you doing, good brother? Can you hear us okay?
I hear you very well, and thank you for having me on, brother. I can't believe this is like a dream come true for me.
Oh, it's our honor. It absolutely. And there you are again, and out in nature, and looking fantastic and healthy
I'm
and
live
happy.
streaming from a stream bed right here in California.
Double meanings. I love it. Jerome, it's great. It's great to speak to you. I've seen you in the chat for a while, and recently you began making these appreciation videos. A few weeks ago, we spoke. I think, if memory serves, it was after the Sarah Dye tap that I mentioned a few moments ago. You reached out with a comment, and then we started chatting on DM on Twitter. But you're always such a positive presence, and you're just throwing yourself into it, giving us your perspectives from where you are, and we just appreciate you, and we love that we're able to do this kind of thing now. Jason and I, we've done maybe a little bit here and there for special shows, but we said to each other, we want to do more of these community spotlights, and it's so great that you could join our first one here.
Well, I'm really honored to be here, and I have so much to appreciate in this community. I cannot begin to publish 1/10 of the moments when I get something from this community that I say, I've got to save this, I've got to publish this, I've got to share this. This needs to be spread far and wide. I had an open question from a while ago about that, is how to, I meet people all the time, and I see they're often in certain, I would call them demographic groups, like families with young children, mothers with young children, fathers with young children.
Yes.
Couples that aren't yet obviously having children. And I'm picturing, I want to have something to hand them to help them see the value of white well-being and no white guilt, and lifting them, because they're walking under the burden of all of these meme pathogens that have infected them. But I can see if we could have a message tailored maybe to each different situation that people find themselves in. I could have a little booklet, take out the right leaflet. Oh, here's a mother with child. Help protect your baby from anti-whiteism.
Mm-hmm. That is a brilliant idea. And folks, Jerome has been, like I said, I mean, he hit the ground running. As soon as he found going free, he absolutely threw his arms around it, and he is immediately thinking about, how can I get this that obviously feels so good and strong and powerful for him. How can I get this out to folks? And he has, and I'll be sharing this on tomorrow, Sunday, I guess an app that you use or are working on. And then he's got this, and it's a brilliant question about having having leaflets, or we could perhaps like little card stock we could come out with for specifically targeting, just like Jerome is saying here, families or young adults or what have you, so that you have a little script there, something you can say. Elaine Sabatino also actually
Yes.
brought this up as well, about having a script because of her success going out and speaking with folks. And she'll be obviously one of the people that we will end up sharing on one of these community streams. And this is a splendid idea. And that's one of the projects we have to work on. It is so very important. I have given orally some ideas on when approaching these sorts of people, as I have approached them in the past, but that's really not nearly as powerful or as useful, because you have to track it down somewhere, you have to remember, but not nearly as powerful, as useful as having specifically leaflets or of card stock or something, or even business card size, so you can have a bunch of them on you, and then you can go and hand them out depending upon the community that you come across. But so wonderful to have Jerome on today, and someone like Jerome, who everybody likes. Jerome, I mean, who does not like Jerome? He is an immediately likable guy, and you could tell he has a great heart and a great spirit. We're so grateful to have you here, brother. What was we definitely want to know what else you had on your mind that you wanted to share with us, but I also wanted to ask you to speak to when you first came to Go Free. What was that like for you? What was that? How was it different than what you had seen before? And why did you feel like maybe this was that sunny path that we see behind you that you should trod rather than some of those other storm-laden paths of the past?
Oh, when I first found Going Free, it was like the sun coming out from beneath black clouds. I had been trying all my life to do something positive for my people, and I hadn't found anything that was effective. I was just failing again and again and again, and hoping people could wake up. But now once I saw Going Free and I started to practice it, my life has just been getting exponentially better. I'm on a huge upswing.
Jerome, how did you come across the channel?
I learned about you through James Fox Higgins, and I think I'd recommend him as another potential guest to have someday on tap. If you remember him, the Australian.
Yeah, he was on last July at
Yes.
Yeah. So check the archives.
When you were on his program I think you were interviewed by him. Jason was, and that's how I learned about Going Free. And then somebody said, there's this guy, Jason. He does these really long, he puts in such long streams. And then one day I tuned into one of them and I saw why they're so long. We need a lot of it. I've been appreciating it. I mean, I listen to it even when it's not live. I capture them to my phone and I watch them through iMovie, and then I can cut out clips because each one has like gold nuggets in it that I say, this is just the right piece for this person. And what we need is a way to get the right pieces to the right people. So like, I would like if those little cards or flyers had a way to link them to some really appropriate clip from Going Free that would touch their hearts.
Yeah, I like your idea about the focused material that you could hand out to someone. You're definitely right. Of course, with your instinct of it's always going to be for parents, it's going to be their children. That's going to be that's the emotional leverage that you need to address. Just get at the root. But I do like this idea. We have been combing through. I think Jason's going to publish a few. We've been combing through some clips, making a couple of clips. But I like this idea of really trying to custom tailor. And so everyone, I'll say this to the chat, anyone who listens to the shows on this show and certainly on Going Free on Sundays, because that might really be where Jason gives something, a nice maybe few minutes, like very powerful, that laser focus that Brant was talking about a few moments ago, where we could say, okay, this would be great to send to young parents, or this would be great to send to a young guy in college who's maybe feels a little lost and doesn't have a lot of friends. And yeah, if we could find maybe different clips for different situations, and then have ways sharing them online. But even you could print cards if you want to do it physically, like you said, with a Q code on it, and it would take you to the clip. That's a great idea. I mean, there's so many great initiatives, and that's another one of them. So everyone, please, I guess this episode, you get a little homework, but it's fun kind of homework. Yeah. We'll disassociate it with the kind of homework you did in school that you didn't like. We'll come up with it. We'll come up with a new word for it. I also want to say, too, it's great to see you. Our community knows this. Sometimes we see silly stuff in the wider spheres, in the wider circles as well. So we're not doxing you. Obviously, it's a huge state. It's the size of a country. But you yourself said you're in California, right? You said that before.
I said that, yeah.
Yeah, it just goes to show that we have wonderful people everywhere. You can't just forget these
Even
places.
California.
Sometimes, California is the butt of jokes, or cities. I know that there's a lot of wonderful things to be said of being close to nature, but I'm from a city myself, and I ended up here. You have to be cognizant of the fact that you might be making fun of California or making fun of urbanites or something, and it might be someone's first time in the chat. Every week we have people dipping their toe in. There's people right now, I can assure you, who you're not seeing their little avatars go by on the DLive chat or on the YouTube chat. But they're just here in the background checking it out. Maybe that's how a lot of you started. And they're just seeing. They're not sure where they are. They're seeing what these guys on the screen are talking about, but they're also looking closely at what you all are typing. And of course, we don't want people to feel like they're walking on eggshells or anything. We all have to be ourselves. But be aware of when you're saying something that might be a little negative about a certain area of the country, a certain type of person. Our wonderful people are everywhere in all walks of life and doing all kinds of jobs in all kinds of locales. And look at this. I'm from a big East Coast city. That's the butt of a lot of jokes. We have Jerome out in California. California is the butt of a lot of jokes. But we're here. Jerome's representing us very well. Jerome, you said that you had been looking for ways to be active for a long time. While we have you, are you able to give us kind of a condensed version of what's colloquially people call your red pill story? What woke you up to the things going on?
Well, you could say I've been red pilling since like 1978 or 1980, something like that. I found this bookstore, a true underground bookstore. It was actually in the basement in Sunnyvale, called Liberty Books. And in there, they had all the forbidden books there were already forbidden books before 1980. And I started to drink those in and read about that stuff. So I've read a lot of the doom documenting and doom dissecting. But what's so uplifting about being here is there's a solution. A real solution that doesn't involve pointing the finger at particular other groups of people, but involves working on something positive that we can do. I mean, that's been the huge red pill about discovering going free. That's been a whole nother level of red pill, is that, hey, there's an answer. It isn't just bad all the way down. More and more layers of how we've been subverted and cheated and lied to and tricked for thousands of years. There's a way out of this prison. Yep. So I don't know if that answers your question or not, but yeah.
I mean, imagine that. I just think about how exciting this. I'm getting more excited by the moment. It's too bad, Jared. We absolutely have to do it. Maybe like every other week, we have to have a tap that is plucking folks from out of the community and have them on and have these four gentlemen back again. But it's just remarkable to hear that Jerome has started back in the 70s at this bookstore that was in a basement, and year after year, decade after decade, going through this material and learning, as he just said here, about how we've been subverted for thousands of years. He knows all of that. And I can tell you, I know so many folks out there who know all just more facts and names and this and that about all of these other groups and how we have been undermined time and again, and they go nowhere with it, nowhere. And Jerome is a great example representing right now. I tell you right now, Jerome, you are representing a lot of folks who are out there who have been on that same path, and they finally come to going free, and they're like, there's a solution. We can actually work to improve our situation. This is showing success, and it is pragmatic, and it's friendly. It's built in love, hope, and redemption, and it absolutely has the ingredients to succeed. And I'm going to tell you what about all of the ingredients that we have in service to white well-being and the practice of going free to succeed. This is what I'm most excited about. The ingredients of these folks here today. Jerome with his great beer stein there, and then Roy and Ray and Brant. This has never happened. I've been in the white sympathetic spheres for decades, not numeral 4, but 4 decades. And I have never seen I've never been at a single meeting or a single conference, even with hundreds of people there, where you had competent, mature, rational adults coming together as we have on just this very show and discussing how we, in all of our own ways, are pushing in the same direction, how we are all shoulder to shoulder, pushing in the same direction of our own volition. It's truly remarkable. Jerome, take it away.
Well, I don't know what more to say. I mean, I had a lot to say, but it's all erasing from my mind. I love this mug. I saw it. It has it's like from our culture.
Yes, it is.
From Western kind. This is the way we used to live. We used to drink from a piece of art.
Yes.
Like this.
Yeah.
Jerome. This is the kind of village we used to create. And we will again.
Yeah.
I love steins, Jerome, and I've seen some beautiful ones in my day. I have to say, my brother is a big go big or go home kind of guy. My brother is an intense guy. So I'm not trying to show you up here because it wouldn't be practical to bring one this size out to the woods like you are. Looks like a beautiful day where you are too. I'm sure you're enjoying it. But look at this baby.
Oh, yes. Whoa.
That my brother picked out for me. This whole scene of these guys drinking beer with the castle in the background.
Oh yeah.
That is awesome.
We all have one of these. I mean, this is it's upgraded my sipping experience tremendously.
Well, no joke. I mean, people even comment on these glass goblets I drink from, but here's the thing. I believe wholeheartedly, and I know Jason does as well because I've heard him say the very same thing, that beauty is a virtue. And so
beauty is a virtue.
At any time, but especially right now with what's going on in the world, you can make little choices to make your day-to-day experience more beautiful. And it will give these little jolts of positivity and inspiration into your day in these little cracks even sometimes where you didn't think there could be, like where you just choose to drink from a nice glass of water instead of a plastic cup or something like that. Now, I don't drink from this. This is just a nice thing that my brother got me because he knows I like steins. And I've been in places where there's a whole collection. I'd love to have a collection one day, more because of the aesthetics. I don't even drink alcohol, to tell you the truth, and I certainly wouldn't drink that much beer. But it's really just the appreciation of the handiwork. And as you said, Jerome, that is in our people to make every little thing, even what you're drinking out of, a work of art, an experience. So I do invite everyone to think about that as well, what you surround yourself with. Jason and I talk about this all the time. We see Jason's plant. I don't have it on camera, but I have tons of plants around me right now. Bring some liveliness to the home. So there's all kinds of ways that we can do it. And that's just one small one. My brother got my parents a smaller one, more like the one you have. Beautiful scene with a buck, with a deer, and a forest scene. It similar to the one that you have. They have it up on their mantle. But I definitely encourage people, get some steins or get some. You know what I love too? Someone in the chat type it that. What is the blue and white pattern that they do in Holland? I was in Amsterdam, and all over is like the gingham pattern on the tablecloths, and then that kind of, the name's escaping me, but that technique they do for their plates and their different diningware. If someone in the chat, let me know. But I think you know what I'm talking about, that blue and white that they do in Holland.
Yeah.
Just so, yeah.
Yeah.
A lesson I learned getting this one and 3 with lids like yours, Jared, is that I don't recommend that top. I'm not sure what that's for. Maybe so you can carry them without it spilling, but I don't find them comfortable to drink from when they have the top. So if you want one for actual everyday use, look for one that has a normal place to rest your lips.
Yeah, I'd imagine maybe that top so things don't get in. I don't know, but
when I try and tip it away, it doesn't get far enough away from my face, so I can't figure out how to drink comfortably out of those steins that have the beautiful cap lid on them. I just haven't mastered that yet. But an example, another group, a demographic that I know I want to reach is I go to this gym all the time, and it's an anti-white propaganda place. Every single poster in there is calling for white erasure. And there are, but among the clientele are a lot of our people. Maybe 30 to 50% of the people there are Western kind. And I see these young people, and they've got the anti-white posters calling for white erasure, every single one, and they've got the TVs going with the constant stream of anti-white sports and anti-white news, and I'm telling myself I need some cards for those people too. But different ones for the young men, different ones for the young women, different ones for the middle-aged men. But anyway, I'm just seeing, like, there's so many places I go where I see people that by what they're doing and where they are, I can tell a window into how to make a connection that would reach them, rather than some more random thing that feels like it's just calling out to anybody.
Yeah,
I really like that.
We could do, Jason, you know, we've done, sometimes in the past, we've done shows where we kind of bounced around ideas. So that could be something too. You know, Jerome, we, as I said, when someone asked about music before, we're always tweaking, as I know you are too, I'm sure we all are, our effectiveness and time management, balancing our schedule. So I don't want to bite off more than I could chew. I'm not saying we're going to add shows and do another show every week aside from TAP, but every so often, Jason and I have talked about this on and off. We do have these other brands we sometimes break out besides the after party, like after hours. Sometimes we do after hours, we call it, and it's really more informal. And that's a perfect opportunity to kind of do brainstorming and maybe literally do like a public meeting and brainstorming about some of the ideas that you're talking about. Like how do you best approach this demographic, that demographic? So I'm going to write that down as well because I'm making notes anyway about potential guests, since this is a crowdsourcing episode.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me on today. It's been a delight.
No, Jerome, it is all our honor. It is all our delight. And we're absolutely going to have you back. I could not be more ecstatic than to have you in this community in service. You are in it to win it, as the saying goes. You are using it. You are practicing. See, and that's the big difference, folks. You can't just pick up Go Free and read it once, or you can't just get it and put it on your bookshelf and have the pages still all stiff. You have to go out and live it in the world. Roy was talking about, everybody was talking about that. I mean, look at the lives changed here, and the lives that, for example, Jerome, all the changes brought to himself, the changes he's bringing to others with these magnificent videos and going out into the world and thinking about how can we do this? How can we improve what we are doing? How can we reach more people with what works? Raymond's life and Heidi's life completely changed. A 180 completely changed. They're building their communities as well. Roy Danton, his life completely 180'd, and himself improving on how he reaches folks with the message, and constantly out there endeavoring to find folks to bring over to Go Free. Brant Danger putting together School of the West, talking about these ideas that we use now, how we construct our ideas and how effective it is when we use the lexicon dialectics of going free. And Jerome's videos that he's making. I shared your Twitter. What is your YouTube page, brother?
It's Jerome space V.
Jerome space V. And we'll get that into the live chat, folks. Do follow Jerome on Twitter and at YouTube, Jerome space V on YouTube. And like the clips that he is making, and make sure that you don't get unfollowed by YouTube, as they are wont to do. We see that happening all the time, but they are magnificent. Share them. And the really powerful thing that I thought Jerome said, brother, and then we'll let you go, something that's really insightful that can help folks right now, wherever they are, is that Jerome says he watches Going Free. He watches the work. He finds stuff in the book Go Free, and then he thinks of specific people. This would be perfect for this group, or that would be perfect for that person. That would be perfect for this lady or that man. And then he gets them that material. That sort of customized approach. And now he's talking about expanding on this idea. He's bringing it to us, and we're absolutely going to be working on this card stock or business cards or something that we can have for the whole range of people to specifically customize the message for them. It is brilliant. We all can begin doing this right now. When it comes to the streams and the material in the book, you can even, I've seen people take photographs of pages out of the book and send it to people they know. It's fantastic. God bless you, Jerome. We love you, and we will have you back whenever you want to come back, brother.
I love you, brothers. Thank you for what you're doing. You've changed my life.
Oh, God bless you.
Jerome, love to you. And we'll have a special show just about steins and dining ware and all those things from our people. But it was so great to speak to you. I put that, I didn't see that side before. Beautiful. I put your link, your YouTube, in the D-Live chat and the YouTube chat. One more thing I want to say that Jerome does, and I'll thank you while you're here, is you have started making clips, and this is so important. I try to do it, and I try to do what I can, but we need a lot of people doing it. Finding little clips. It could be 30 seconds, 10 minutes, but certainly even 10 minutes is a lot more palatable than a 2-hour stream. This is what's going to help share things virally around the internet with people. Jerome is making clips, so please grow his channel. Go subscribe and go check out the fact that he's making clips from our shows, and go share them around. Copy and paste those links and share, tweet them, gab them. Get them on your Telegram if you do Telegram. It is that alone is a tremendous service. So thank you as well for making the clips. And everyone go share Jerome's clips and feel free to make your own.
All right, Jerome. Thank you so much, brother, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Wow, isn't that amazing, Jared? Isn't that absolutely amazing?
Yeah, my heart is warmed. My heart is warmed.
No, I have to tell you, and I got to tell everybody before we get out of here, we'll just reiterate again about the crowdsourcing portion of this, that maybe I'll let you do that one more time, Jared, before we go. But I really have to say this, and that is that I reiterate that I've been in for over 2 decades in service to white well-being, in white sympathetic spheres, in more meetings and conferences than I can count. And I have never had been witness to a situation like we just had here today, an event like we just had here today, where you have people that are coming together of their own volition based in this practice of going free, service to white well-being, becoming centers of gravity themselves and building community where they are. This is what I've talked about for so long, when people have said, well, do you craven away to some hole over here or craven away to some hole over there and build community in those places? And I've tried to tell folks that you can't do such a thing. It's not feasible. It's not workable. Every effort fails miserably. In some cases, those things will be done on very small levels, and where infused with the psychological defense for the psychological victimization, the warfare that is waged against us by the anti-whites, those communities will be able to survive. They won't be able to survive where it is just something other, where it lacks the psychological defense, anything else, and it's not going to be able to survive anti-whiteism, period. But what I've also said is that communities are going to spring up where they are. And that is exactly what we have Ray and Heidi telling us about where they live. They have taken Go Free to their neighborhood. They now have barbecues where they could not have barbecues, and they're able to do so because of the lexicon and the dialectics of going free. They're able to be moral people in their neighborhood. They're able to be upstanding people in their neighborhood because they're going free. And we had Jerome, we have everybody else talking about so perfectly, so poignantly about these focuses on all of these other groups, all of this negativity. This positivity is what's going to work. And it's what has been working. There has never been anything like this. The only thing that has come close to this are these poorly shod, poorly put together facsimiles of success, where you have some sort of top-down endeavor, which only ever works when everybody is a mercenary and you have some multimillionaire or centimillionaire paying for the whole thing. It doesn't work otherwise, where you have this top-down endeavor, and they say, okay, now you are going to be the person who does this, and you're sitting around these tables. I've done it. I've been at these events so many times, and you are going to do this, and it's like children coming together rather than adults about something that's very serious, and that is the well-being of Western kind, the well-being of our most vulnerable members. I said all along, it has to be organic. People have to come of their own volition because it's working and improving their lives. And this is what we have seen in spades today. We have absolutely seen healthy people getting better in their own lives, getting better in their own judgments, accessing more of their latent physical, mental, and spiritual potential. I mean, we even had Jeffrey Doherty on the show I was on the other day saying he started going free, and it's opened up just 8 months ago, and it's opened up all these new doors for him, and he's dropped 50 pounds because of going free. It's got to do that for people, because when it does that for people, they will become their own centers of gravity, or they will wed themselves to others who are more capable or able to do such things, and they will bring their own unique talents to assisting them in what they are doing, and it will happen everywhere. It is what has to happen if it's going to be successful. It is the only way that we speak, even though with many different languages across all of Western kind, we speak with a single tongue of going free. And that is when the richest and most powerful anti-white oligarchs in the world will tremble in their towers at the wrath that they have stirred in our people, because we will be saying no more with a single tongue. And God bless today. God bless everybody who has come on, and everybody who is supporting white well-being, and who will go out into the world with this positive energy and make a great change in the world.